Welcome everyone to the channel of World of Wrestling. Today I'm going to be discussing NXT for July 22nd, 2020. You guys might have thought I forgot about you, but I didn't. I'm here. I checked out this episode today while I was working, actually. Since I'm working from home and everything, I thought I'd take the time here and there, take a look at NXT, see the matches and the overall storylines that were developed on this episode. And overall, I thought this show was pretty decent. I didn't think it was too shabby. I thought it was good for what it was worth, and they did some good things here. First thing was the situation with Keith Lee relinquishing the North American Championship. I think that was a good thing for them to do, because quite frankly, they looked like they were kind of copying off of what New Japan Wrestling is doing right now with the IWGP World Title and IC Championship, and I think with them counteracting AEW all the time lately in the last couple of weeks or so to compete with them in the ratings, I think that would be a little silly for them to also copy off of New Japan Wrestling on top of it. So good thing that they changed this situation with the North American Championship, and Keith Lee just focusing on defending the world title, giving opportunities to other people to chase after the NXT North American Championship. There are going to be triple threat matches, which, by the way, was on during this episode last night. I thought that match was fucking great, which I'll get into with you guys. And the overall perception why Keith Lee is relinquishing the North American Championship is just to give people the opportunity to compete over it. And, I thought that was a great idea, great storyline to throw in there. And now we're going to see some competition over who's going to get a shot at the North American title. On August 22nd, the day before SummerSlam, we are going to have a ladder match to crown a new North American champion, just kind of like what they did a couple of years back during the WrestleMania weekend. So we're definitely going to be seeing that. That should be a lot of fun. Who I pick to win the North American Championship? There's two people on my list. Two of them. One of which who won later on in this episode, which was Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed actually advanced in that triple threat match against two very suitable opponents that could have been worthy enough to make it into the ladder match. That was Roderick Strong and Johnny Gargano. And then the other guy I really am definitely high on my list would be Dexter Loomis. I think Dexter Loomis is a very suitable character to take the role of the North American Championship, especially with the fact that he has been pushed heavily on the Undisputed Era, especially Roderick Strong. So overall, I think it's a great idea. And I think what they're going to do here is going to be fantastic. I think the competitors, even the ones that are not, the people that are involved in the match that aren't going to win the North American Championship. I keep saying world title. I don't know why I keep wanting to say world title. I mean the North American Championship. Since there's a lot of people that are going to be competing over it, they're going to get their opportunity to shine in this match, despite the fact that they won't be the winner. But I do believe that they're going to get to shine in this matchup. So that's pretty much that. The first match of the night was Killian Dane versus Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis went ahead, won this match. It was a back and forth matchup. It wasn't one way beat down or anything like that. And Dexter Loomis won with a submission hold. And he started fading away and then passed out, and that was that. And that's how the match ended. Very good match. I thought it was decent, and I do see a little bit of similarities. You guys may disagree with me on this one or not. Let me know in the comments down below if you do. But I do see a little bit of similarities between Dexter Loomis and Karrion Kross. Dexter Loomis being more of a blank-faced person, but a very dominant character. And the only difference between Karrion Kross and Dexter Loomis is Karrion Kross is a more full of energy, angry individual who will tear his opponent apart without blinking an eye, you know? So that's what I see in them. They have some similarities, but they, of course, do have differences. But I do see somewhat of a similar, character. They're kind of dark and eerie, a little bit intimidating. I think Dexter Loomis is a creepy, intimidating person. While Karrion Kross is just a plain fucking intimidating motherfucker that'll tear you apart. And I've stated this a while ago. Long time ago when I used to do Impact Wrestling reviews whenever I had an opportunity to do that, which wasn't much, but the times that I did mention that Karrion Kross is definitely one badass motherfucker you could make as a major star or a major player on your program. And thankfully NXT does see that in Karrion Kross. Alright, so let's move on to the next thing. Oh yeah, by the way, the rating I give Dexter Loomis' match with Killian Dane, a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Good matchup, hard-hitting, and very good action overall. Kept me interested. We had a segment where Mackenzie Mitchell is backstage with Roderick Strong. He sees the North American situation, the North American title situation, as a way for the Undisputed Era to get back on track. Bronson Reed interrupts, and they have words with Reed confident about his chances. Johnny Gargano then interrupts and mocks them both, commenting about how he will go on to make history again and win the North American title. Like I said before, fucking Johnny Gargano, Roderick Strong, and Bronson Reed, to me, all deserve an opportunity to be in this match, but only one could come out and be the one in this ladder match. Bottom line, Bronson Reed wins the match later on in the show, which I'll give you guys my rating on. We then get a video package of Dakota Kai taunting the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai over taking her out last week. This, I have to say, was pretty good. But bottom line, having Tegan Nox win and then lose to Io Shirai, but then shift it back over to Dakota Kai, who was actually in that number 1 contenders match, and now put it on her, made no sense. So, yeah. I honestly don't see why they didn't just go with her to begin with and just continue a storyline with these two competing over the women's championship. But promo was decent. I enjoyed it. Match I didn't really care about, and this name Everrise for this tag team against the Breezango with Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Everrise should change their name to Ever Falling because they are jobbers and they absolutely sucked. This match I did not care about. I didn't even pay one bit of attention while it was playing on my TV set while I was doing my job today. So, didn't really care for this. Give it a 1 out of 5 stars. I mean, Breezango and Fandango did an okay job, but their jobbers, their opponents weren't exactly all that entertaining at all. So I didn't really care for that match at all. Okay, Dominik Diakovic. He's on backstage being interviewed. We go to Tom at the announce table. He hypes up the TakeOver ladder match and Karrion Kross versus Dominik Diakovic. Tom sends us to Mackenzie backstage with Diakovic, and he talks about how Kross attacked him last week and warns that Kross will be getting a fresh vision this week. Diakovic goes on and threatens to leave Kross unconscious tonight. He walks off and we go to commercial break at that point. So that's pretty much that deal. Io Shirai Actually, we see how Io Shirai tweeted a response to Dakota Kai warning her about the consequences that are coming her way for her actions. And that's pretty much that. Big deal. Shotzi Blackheart versus Aaliyah. Good match, but my God, this guy, Robert Stone, has to disappear. He has to get lost. Please, get rid of this guy. Shotzi Blackheart picks up the victory. And she then, after the match, Shotzi stands tall as her music hits, and we go to replay. Shotzi taunts Stone and drives her tank over his hurt leg again. It's actually his other foot. This person from Wrestling Incorporated did not get it right. She ran over his other foot that was not injured and ran over that. This guy, Robert Stone, needs to get lost. He is a disease. He is worse than the fucking COVID-19. Yes, I used the real name. Shoot me if you want, but I don't care. So Stone yells out in pain. Mercedes Martinez suddenly attacks out of nowhere and levels Shotzi to booze. Mercedes Martinez boots her directly in the side of the temple and knocks her on her ass. Really bad shot, too. Now, Mercedes Martinez being tied up to Robert Stone, which we see later on in the show. I think it's immediately after we come back from commercial break. She does have a talk with Stone. He's more of her manager to conduct her business while she focuses on her in-ring work. So Martinez stares at Blackheart down, and then Aaliyah checks on Stone, looking up at Martinez in fear. Mercedes also stares Stone and Aaliyah down, and Martinez makes her exit without saying a word. So from there, we actually get a little bit of an insight on Isaiah Swerve Scott. He talks about his music career and his wrestling career. He actually uses his music career to be able to move good in the ring and actually perform at a high level. He thinks music helps him do that, and you can definitely see that in his body language, the way he moves in the ring and so forth. So, very good stuff here. I actually enjoyed it. He does leave at the end of his promo that he is wanting the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Now, I'm going to say this. I believe the NXT Cruiserweight title should be on TakeOver 30. On August 22nd, we should be seeing the Cruiserweight title on the fucking pay-per-view of TakeOver. If we don't, I won't be happy about it. I think it is fucking stupid. Will it be a tragedy or a travesty? No, it's not a tragedy or travesty. But, bottom line, guys, let's be real. It's part of the NXT brand, supposedly. It is being called the NXT Cruiserweight title. Why wouldn't you want to put that Cruiserweight title in a pay-per-view event? Makes more sense to me to have the title on the TakeOver event. So, there's my reasoning behind that. I've been mentioning this several different times. So, we get a triple threat ladder match qualifier with Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed versus Roderick Strong. This match was great. Great spots. If you did not catch this match, you are missing a good match. This is one of, I would say so far in the 2020 year, I would say this is in the top 20 best matches of the year. Bottom line. And we've had tons of fucking matches, and this is definitely high up in ranking of matches of the year. I wouldn't say it's the greatest match ever of the year, but I would say it was pretty damn good. This match I'm giving a 4 out of 5 stars. Most definitely. This definitely rivaled, in my opinion, the AEW Tag Team Tornado Falls Count Anywhere match. That was pretty off the hook. So was this. They were pretty close in... you get what I'm saying. In style of productivity in the ring. Bronson Reed, though, does pick up the victory. He wins this match. This match almost, I believe, goes over 20-something minutes. And we only get, I think, 1 or 2 commercial breaks, and that's it. Which is pretty damn good. Most cases, you get a bunch of commercials during a 20-30 minute match on an episode of WWE stuff. So, there you go. We have Timothy Thatcher versus Orny Larkin. This match, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5 stars simply because of the fact that this match was slow. Very slow, very boring. Good technical wrestling, I won't discredit that. Timothy Thatcher is a great in-ring wrestler, but sometimes his matches can be a little bit boring, and I've talked highly about him in the last couple of weeks, and I think he's a good wrestler. But sometimes his match can be boring. His matches can be boring. So this match is getting a 2.5 out of 5 stars. He does pick up the victory in a very nice way of ending it. Instead of beating Orny Larkin this time with a submission like he did the last time, he actually is placed in a submission hold. And Thatcher ends up countering, taking Larkin down into a unique pin for the win. Unbelievable. Really enjoyed the ending to this. I thought it was very good. After this match was over, we had Mercedes Martinez backstage with Robert Stone. She pretty much makes a threat, like I mentioned, that she wants him to do all the technical business end of the things while she focuses on her work in the ring, while she kicks people's asses, and wants him to stay out of her way while she does it. And as long as he does the business end, and she just does her thing in the ring, while she works her way to the top in the women's division of NXT, her business relationship with Robert Stone will be fine. If he gets in the middle of her stuff, she will kick his ass and also kick Aaliyah's ass on top of it. So that was pretty much the situation for that. Let's see what else we got here. Then we had the Dominik Diakovic versus Karrion Kross, but also forgot to mention, next week's episode, triple threat qualifying match again for the North American Championship. We're going to have Dexter Loomis, Timothy Thatcher, and Finn Balor. So Finn Balor and Dexter Loomis and Timothy Thatcher are competing over a qualifier to make it into the North American Championship ladder match. Now, this kind of bums me out a little bit. I would love to see Finn Balor at least in the ladder match. He doesn't have to win the championship, but for him to be in the ladder match with these other names would be fantastic. But I definitely see Dexter Loomis winning this match next week because he's been pushed pretty hard. You can definitely tell that. So at the end of the day, I really see Dexter Loomis winning this triple threat match next week. It should be pretty exciting to watch. I think they're going to do a great job, these three. Should be pretty entertaining. Then we had Karrion Kross versus Dominik Dijakovic. I'm going to say one thing. I know it's a little critique here, and it's a little critical of me to say this, but didn't we see Karrion Kross beat the shit out of fucking Tommaso Ciampa? I mean, if you got Karrion Kross, I believe it was his first match, and he's beating the shit out of one of the biggest names in NXT, Tommaso Ciampa, and he's getting dominated like John Cena was getting dominated by Brock Lesnar in 2014 SummerSlam. Why couldn't you do the same thing here? Now, granted, I'm not going to deny, this match was good. It had a good storyline development at the end with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. Dominik Dijakovic kind of looked like Apollo Creed in Rocky IV. He was getting his ass kicked. He refused to quit. And Keith Lee wanted to stop the match. He thought that the match was going a little too far. He thought Dominik Dijakovic was going to get severely hurt. And Dijakovic refused to have the match stopped until he either passed out or was beaten half to death. Unfortunately for him, he passed out in a rear naked choke, basically, is what I'm going to call it. But yeah, this match was back and forth. I don't particularly think that this match needed to be back and forth. It could have been one-sided, but then again, I mean, This was the main event. I don't think if we would have had a match with Kross and Ciampa in the main event of a NXT show or a pay-per-view, we would have seen a one-sided beatdown. So I will cut them a little slack on that. But bottom line, truth of the matter is that Kross going ahead and having a back-and-forth match and then also destroying Ciampa kind of didn't make sense to me. So, but like I said, I'll give them some slack here on this. They did a great job. At the end of the match, like I mentioned, fucking Keith Lee comes out and he makes his appearance. And for the first time, Keith Lee and Karrion Kross lock eyes. And Karrion Kross meant business. I mean, he looked like he was ready to tear Keith Lee apart, as well as Diakovic. So, Karrion Kross is easily, in my vote, the winner of the world title after TakeOver 30. Easy. Without any question. This match, main event, was a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Decent match. Enjoyable. And what helped elevate the rating of that match was the ending with the storyline build between Kross and Lee. That's basically it. So, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel. And if you're not, I don't know why not. I produce videos every single fucking week on all the weekly episodes of wrestling. I mean, come on. I know I'm not the best talker, but I have good ideas, and I know what I'm talking about. So, hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel, of course. And as always, if you'd like to leave a comment down below on anything that was discussed in this video, by all means, leave a comment. I'll get back to you on that. And I thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys, and I will catch you later. Bye.